Hey, how's it going, guys? So today we're checking out another Halo lore and theory video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. So now we're gonna be looking into Master Chief. Now this video is called "How Wealthy is Master Chief?" So I mean, if you look at like all the games, there's not really much Master Chief does besides just like tactics and just like fighting and just like moving from one location to another. But we don't see him doing anything with this like rec time, except for like in the movie Halo: The Fall of Reach, where he was just a little kid, going to the gym. But besides that, we don't know like what he does during his off time, and on top of that, we don't know how much he's being paid. So I know for a fact that now this is just a guess. Based on the video that Installation 00 did on the Mjolnir armor like cost, I know for a fact that he's gonna be doing like a lot of factoring as well, saying like this in this time period and this, because also in real life the military pay, it goes up every year, so it increases little by little annually. So if we add that into like four centuries into the future to this time period, then he could be paid a lot, Master Chief. But I'm really curious to see like how much he is getting paid, because I mean he better be getting paid a lot. Like he's the most famous Spartan, and he's basically like the backbone of the UNS. Well, I don't want to say backbone, but he's basically like the reason why people are like inspired and fight in the UNSC. So that's why. But overall, what is his pay? How much is he earning? Things like that, or if he gets bonuses too, or like a commission. Either way, let's find out what Installation has to say. So let's get into it.
The Master Chief has been in active service with the UNSC since he was 14 years old. Obviously ignoring the legal ramifications of having a person that young in active service with the military. We are talking about an Only Black project after all, so, we'll kind of sweep that under the rug. In either case, Master Chief is currently 49 years of age in the current events surrounding Zeta Halo and Halo Infinite, which means he has been in active duty for 35 years, and has a total military career spanning 43, which gives him incredible battlefield experience, and his absolutely exemplary service record is a testament to just how many years he has spent in the field and how accomplished he is as a soldier. The Master Chief has most definitely dedicated his entire career to military service. His career is in the military. His career. It's his job. How much has the Master Chief been paid during this time? I mean, he must have been paid. I mean, it's probably a token gesture, given that he spent most of his life in military service and is viewed upon, just as most of the other Spartans are, as military hardware. But at least to keep
personally, I wouldn't do it for free.
You would need to justify the presence of those soldiers. They would need to have been paid. But the Chief has only ever fought. I don't believe there's very many examples, if any at all, of Chief being on leave in any great degree to actually be able to spend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't see him on his rec time, and we don't know how he would spend his money.
Is the Master Chief?
Yeah, so that's why I said earlier, like, we don't see him during his rec time. We don't see him, like, what he does on his off time or anything like that. We just see him fighting. But for me personally, like I said, I wouldn't do it for free.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Installation 00, and let's just clarify at the get-go, this is really a kind of a token gesture. The Master Chief is basically kept and supported by the Navy because that's all he knows and all he has ever done. He and the other Spartans are almost literally, from a legal standpoint, children of the Navy. They have no next of kin. They are effectively, through obviously manipulation and black projects and contraventions of the Mortal Dictator, the property of the UNSC. But as the Spartan program has become more public, that presents some issues. Because by definition, even in the Halo universe, the Navy can't be seen to physically own another human being. That is tantamount to a lifetime of servitude or slavery. And whilst we know that the Office of Naval Intelligence seem to have no qualms whatsoever about breaking laws, this one does present some issues with the newer public-facing Spartan program. I mean, hypothetically speaking, at any point really, the Master Chief could go to Naval Command and say, "That's it, I've done my service. I want to retire and take my back pay."
Oh yeah, now I think
And
about it.
really,
Has he been re-enlisting
there's
or
not
has
a
he
lot
just
they
been
could
stuck?
do to stop him, which was ultimately the motivation behind this video. If he did make that choice, how much money would the Navy have to pay him to completely and utterly settle up how long he's been serving? Just how wealthy would the Master Chief be? Well, in order to find that out, we need to really pace out his rank during different times of his career, how long he occupied those ranks, and then calculate the salary and benefits
time in
and hazard
grade,
pay
time in service.
that would go along with those. Now again, we can't really make a direct in-universe comparison because we don't really know how the credits or the currency of the Halo universe kind of tally up to real-world currency. Yes, we can make some conservative estimates, and I've made videos on this subject before, but it's still a very loose conservative estimate. So, for all intents and purposes, the UNSC Navy is based very closely on the US Navy. As, strictly speaking, the UNSC came into existence when the United Nations of planet Earth came together and created a singular military and government. And the US contributed significantly to that navy, meaning many of its traditions, its structures, and the way in which it operates were inherited by the US Navy. So, first things first, we need to establish John 117's rank across the years, and this isn't as clear-cut as you'd expect. He was born in March of 2511 and was ultimately kidnapped and conscripted into the UNSC as a recruit in 2517. However, they are never really referred to formally as conscripts. In fact, they are referred to as enlisted men. This is obviously a bending of the truth to cover the true nature of the Spartan 2 program. Again, one of the first things that John 117 asked of Chief Mendez was the highest rank that he could attain as an enlisted man, which ultimately gave him the goal of achieving the rank of Master Chief Petty Officer. So going back to his conscription, or rather his enlistment into the UNSC in 2517, he would have been enlisted and became a seaman recruit. He occupied that rank for nearly 8 years, when in September of 2525 he was promoted to Petty Officer 3rd Class. A little under 2 months later, all of the Spartans graduated
He's going over
their
the
training
events of the
and
movie
were thus
Halo
all
Fall
promoted
Reach.
to the rank of Petty Officer 2nd Class. And just 2 months later, they were registered as active
Damn,
duty
2
at the
months.
age of 14, and at this point John had achieved the rank of Petty Officer 1st Class. And a mere 5 months later, in April of 2526, he achieved the rank of Master Chief Petty Officer, a 3-rank jump in a field promotion by Colonel Marmon Crowther. And
Damn,
he continues
3
to
ranks?
hold
Man,
this
if
rank
only.
for 26 years. I say 26 years because at the end of Halo 3, when we see the monument with the numbers 117 scratched into its surface, there is an insignia stuck to the monument directly under John's number. And the insignia is that of the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, which, while it is still classed as an E9 rank, the same as just a Master Chief Petty Officer, it does pay significantly more. And whilst it was most likely a posthumous promotion in memory of John 117, I find it extremely unlikely that when John was revived and then recovered by the UNSC Infinity on Requiem, that they would have effectively demoted him. Which means, by definition, since he was recovered on Requiem until the present day in the Halo universe, which is a period of time of around 8 years, he has been serving as a Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy. So there we have his entire career rank and promotions listed
But then again,
out.
his rank was well
Now we
deserved.
have to reference in the salaries, benefits, and hazard pays of each of these ranks
Oh,
in
that's
order
right,
to
hazard
ascertain
pay.
just how much money Chief would hypothetically
Hazard
have
pay,
in the bank.
hazard pay
that
is
he
a
could
lot.
arguably ask to withdraw as back pay if he chose to step out of active service today. And before we get on to that, it's worth noting the way in which the Navy pay. Your pay grade is identified by the E number. So for example, Master Chief is grade E9, while Senior Chief is E8. All of the pay grades are paid out with
I'm a sergeant,
basic
so my pay
or a
grade
basic
is
salary to
E5.
start with. But then, in keeping with Navy traditions of providing you with board and meal provisions, your salary is bolstered with a BAH allowance, which is a basic allowance for housing, assuming the individual has no dependents, which I think we can say with relative certainty the Master Chief doesn't, and a BAS allowance, which is meant to offset the costs for the individual's meals. And then finally, on top of that, if you're actually serving in an active war zone, you are paid hazard pay on top of that. And then in keeping with years of service, as the years increase, you also get a pay rise. But these only happen after a certain amount of years of service. So, going in order, first things first. When John was first recruited, he achieved the rank of Recruit Seaman, a role he occupied for 8 years. The basic pay for an E1 Seaman recruit is $22,000 per year, with a BAH allowance of $15,317 per year and a BAS allowance of $4,883 per year, giving a total of $42,201 per year. He occupied this role for 8 years, giving him a total earned salary during this time of $337,608. John was then promoted to E4, the rank of Petty Officer 3rd Class. However, he only occupied this rank for around 2 months. So we must take the basic pay and allowances and then divide the total to find out how much he earned in those 2 months, while simultaneously taking into consideration that he's already served 8 years with the Navy, which for those 2 months means John earned $8,153.68. He and the other Spartans then graduated recruit training and achieved the rank of E5, Petty Officer 2nd Class, a rank that John only held for a single month. So just as we did with the previous rank, we have to take the basic and the benefits and divide them to find out how much he earned in the single month, which is $4,449.26. Then John was promoted to pay grade E6, Petty Officer 1st Class, a rank he occupied for 5 months. Same story again, take the salary and benefits and divide them down, which gives us $15,678. And then John achieved the rank of Master Chief Petty Officer, and this is where things get quite interesting, but also a little bit confusing, because at this point John had served 8 years of service, yet the basic salary of a Master Chief Petty Officer doesn't actually come into effect until 10 years of service, likely due to the fact that, generally speaking, you don't become a Master Chief before your 10 years of service. Which means as far as the records that I could find are concerned,
rare.
John, for those first 2 years of being a Master Chief, would either continue to have his E6 salary, or he would just have the BAH and BAS allowances for the Master Chief. Now, because I'm not entirely sure what would happen in this circumstance, I'm going to go with the smaller of the two figures, which in this case would be if he just got the benefits for Master Chief Petty Officer and not the salary, in which case for the first 2 years he'd be paid $27,144 per year. However, after this, once he achieves the 10 years of service, his salary would kick in, and then for every 2 years thereafter, his salary would increase with the years of service. So at 10 years, he'd be earning $69,469. At 12 years, it's $71,046. 14, $73,030. 16 would be $75,359.
Yeah, that's a lot of numbers.
Look, rather than listing all of these out verbally, here they are on screen, and it basically culminates that at the 34 years of service mark, he's earning $129,862 a year. The Human Covenant War came to a close, and John was posthumously given the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy promotion. However, for the next 4 years, was believed to be dead. But of course, when it was found that he wasn't dead, you can't very well demote him for being alive, and since he's been alive all of that time, he was effectively in a kind of state similar to being behind enemy lines with no backup for a prolonged period of time, thus could still be considered as being actively serving. Now, at 36 years, a Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy is paid $129,862 per year, including benefits. At 38 years, that jumps to $135,010 per year and stays that way for the rest of their service career. And finally, we have hazard pay. Well, after graduating and actually going into active service, John spent around 6 months accruing hazard pay at roughly the rank of Petty Officer First Class, being $215 a month, and then spent more or less consistently the next 34 years accruing hazard pay for the rank of Master Chief Petty Officer and Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy. Both are paid at $240 a month. And now we have all of these figures.
Man,
it's just
he ranked up pretty
time for a little
fast.
long form maths. So 625, carry the 3. Yeah, if Chief decided to step out of active service right now and request his back pay, the UNSC would have to pay him $4,017,732 and 97 cents.
Ooh, he ballin'.
Or £3,174,316 and 78 pence. Now, yes, arguably speaking, there may have been times in there where he wasn't actually serving on a frontline combat mission, which means the hazard pay wouldn't necessarily apply. And yeah, we could make argument that over the duration of his career, he's kind of spent his BAH and BAS benefits for board and food. But really, when we're talking gross pay, the Master Chief, John 117, is a millionaire. In truth, even if you did deduct all of the benefits, he's still loaded. He's still a millionaire. Chief got dollar. And until next time. Thanks for watching.
Alright, there you have it. Master Chief is a millionaire. In my opinion, well earned. Because the amount of work he puts in, and if you see in the games, like the amount of times he put himself in danger and saved humanity, well earned. I mean, like, in my opinion, he deserves a lot more for that. But either way, I really like how Installation 00 really did his like research into like the military backgrounds, like what goes into it, like the benefits, the rank structures, and time in grade, time in service, and everything. So it's crazy. But I did learn one thing. I didn't know that Master Chief really like ranked up that fast. I mean, come on, 2 months and literally 1 month just being that rank. By the time you stitched it onto your uniform, you have to replace it with another one. But man, that is crazy. But yeah, Chief is loaded. And I mean, I don't know what to say. Because to spend that many years as well in the military. But then again, Spartans don't age regularly as like normal human beings, so I guess there is that. But either way, Master Chief, every dollar is well earned. But here, I want you guys put down in the comments below. What do you think Master Chief, if he had the opportunity, like what would he spend his money on? Like, what do you think he does? Like, would he go to the range, or would he just like take a vacation? I mean, what do you think he would do with his money? I want to hear from you guys. Like, put down in the comments below, what would Master Chief spend his money on? And on top of that, wow, because for me, I've only spent 6 years in the United States Marine Corps Reserves, so I mean, I didn't really make much in comparison because I was a reservist and not active duty. But once I go back into the military in a few months, because I'll be commissioning as a 01 lieutenant and making a decent amount when it comes to active duty. Still, I mean, they're gonna take in consideration of like how many years I've been serving and everything. But either way, Master Chief is wealthy. I mean, like, he's a millionaire, but he still chooses to fight. But then again, I'm also curious, is that like he spent so many years like serving, did he re-enlist and like did he choose to stay, or did they just say like, all right, no, you're staying in that armor, you're gonna keep going where we send you and fight? Or maybe he just didn't have anything else to do, or maybe he's not good at anything else. But I don't know. I mean, that's just my opinion. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my reaction to this video, because this was actually a really great video. And also keep an eye out for more content, and also check out my other videos I have on my channel. And again, thank you guys so much for your continued support in this channel. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day or night wherever you guys are, and I'll see you guys next time.